Well, hello. Welcome to the very first Game Dev Quickie stream. Just let me know if you can hear properly and the video quality is okay. I noticed there's like a 30 seconds delay. Okay, hello again. What I've prepared is an Android project. I've never worked on an Android project, so this is basically the first one for me, a learning project. There's gonna be a lot of stumbles and looking around, so yeah, don't expect to learn much today. I've worked on this for an hour or two to prepare the basics. Let me show you. Let me show it running. So that's basically a canvas and a gameplay area. The game should be a tower defense. Fairly simple game, traditional. We will be able to build defense towers. They will attack incoming monsters. They should be appearing randomly at the top and travel to the bottom, and trying to get, let's say, to our castle or something like that. Well, our goal is to like kill all of them until they reach the bottom, and they should be incoming in waves and stuff. Yeah, I don't have it like properly planned. We will see, and definitely not today. For today, what I want to do is just spawn the monsters and make them go from the top to the bottom. Feel free to ask any questions, advise me, especially. And yeah, looking at the code, what I've done so far is obviously generate a map. It's composed of tiles, and using a render target to spread the map and center it on a mobile device screen. So we've got a sprite class for our basic drawing of any texture. A tile that represents one tile of the map. The map itself. So far it's set as 8 by 12 but we can change that but just simply by changing the numbers fairly easily. There are important two methods to translate the coordinates from the map to the display and vice versa, because let me show you. The canvas has some resolution, but the display is bigger. So clicking like here takes some calculation to really translate it to the map that we are clicking here. Also, it's offset a little by on the top, so we have to move the clicking. Okay, sure. I stopped the music, sorry for that. I just wanted to feel some presence. As of now, I'm sitting alone in a room, which is not so comfortable, talking to myself, but whatever, I can manage. Yeah, for now, I can just make the tiles not pathable for the monsters by clicking, just for the debugging purposes. Okay. What's new opposed to any of my previous videos? I've never worked with a touch input, so that's how I handle it currently. The input manager provides like a touch collection that comes from the framework of MonoGame. It gets a collection of touch inputs from the screen. And what I did is like I go through the collection of all current touches, and if it's like a new touch, because you can also drag, but I'm interested only in the new current touches. So I I think I compare it to the rectangles, and if that position of the touch is in the wanted rectangle, then it resolves as that rectangle is being touched. That's used in the tiles, I guess, or somewhere there. Easily, if the rectangle of the tile, which is calculated in the sprite based on the current position and the size of the tile, when we touch that rectangle, it's an input. So that's how we handle that. And the canvas itself, it's taken from the previous quickie episode, so you can watch all about that in a separate video. But a short overview is we've got a render target, and we just spread it. Let's say the canvas itself would be like this big, just a quarter of the screen, and we calculate the exact how to resize it to cover the whole screen and move it so that it's centered. What we need from that are just two additional values. One is the scale, so how much are we making the canvas bigger, or maybe smaller, but bigger in our case. And what's the movement, the shift of the whole canvas for as it's like slightly moved from the top so that it's centered on the screen. And we need those values for the input manager, as we've talked previously, because we need to recalculate the input positions and translate it back into the game coordinates. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. If not, just ask away. Okay, and on to the new stuff. I have nothing prepared, so it's gonna be our journey. I'm gonna reuse this hero skin and use it as a monster that will spawn on top and go to the bottom. So I would start with a monster class. Or I'm thinking I might even reuse the hero class, maybe. Doesn't matter. So what are we gonna need? We've already got a position in the ancestor, the sprite class. We've got the rectangles. So we're gonna need stuff like a move speed. Let's make it like let's say, I don't know, typical 300. We need is a constructor. I think we need a texture and position. The drawing is also handled in the sprite, so we don't have to care about it too much. What we need is a update method. And let's just simply update the Y position to make it go down. I'm gonna make a simple vector with the direction, so that's 0 on the X and 1 on the Y. That should be downwards. And as usual, I'm gonna multiply by time. So that should just make it go down, I guess. Okay. Let's make a list of the monsters. And a method to spawn a new monster. Let's call it spawn monster. Okay. Let me load a texture for the monster. Let's call it monster texture. Okay. Let's let's use the constructor to load. And as we said, we're gonna just simply use the hero texture for now. So it's gonna be the same, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna change it eventually. Okay, so this spawn monster gonna do like monsters add new monster. It's gonna need the texture, so that's monster texture and a position. What I would like to do is generate a random position. So let me quickly do maybe a new random generator. And a position vector. Let's say for the x-axis, it's gonna be 0, or maybe, yeah, let's say 0 to something. And that something's gonna be, I think it's 8 times 64, because the size of the tile is 64 pixels. And dy is gonna be, let's say 0 as the top of the screen. So to generate a random number in the, let's say from 0 to 8 times 64. 8 times 64, it's 512. But I'm gonna just bump it a little bit on the left and right, so let's say 64 to 448. And so it should be appearing somewhere on this line. And just provide the position. And it's gonna be generated anew whenever we call spawn monster. Okay, let's update the monsters. We'll go through the list of them and call the update. That's all we need for now. Let me think. Yep. And also we should draw them. Okay, so they are updated, they are drawn. We need to spawn a few of them. Let's make it in the constructor of the game manager. I'm gonna use a for cycle just to say I want, like, let's say 5 of them. Okay, so loading a texture, spawning 5 monsters at a random position along the top side. We are updating them, drawing them. Let's see, the update's gonna make a position, update it with their speed and a direction. Let's simplify the direction for now. do it like this so we don't have to like create new vectors on every update. Okay. Okay, I'm just thinking before I build this because it takes a few seconds and I don't want to do that too often. Okay, so obviously they're gonna just or should run around the screen to the bottom, just go away and run forever, and that's it. Okay, let's see. Hopefully not many mistakes were made. It's gonna take a few seconds to build now. And I appear on the emulator. Okay, so something's wrong. To be honest, I have no idea what's wrong. Okay, let me just restart the emulator. And try again. Okay, it's alive. Somewhat. Usually doesn't take that long. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, our 5 monster guys just ran across the screen. So I guess we've done our job so far. Okay, everything seems to be working. Let me slow them down so we can enjoy them longer. And what next? It would be cool to remove them once they go off the screen. obviously their target is to get to the bottom, so we would like lose a life or stuff like that when they do. But for now, let's just remove them, or maybe let's make it so that when they get to the bottom, a new one is spawned and the old one is removed, so they can be cycling. Okay. So first, let's give them like a flag that they are done. Let's call it alive. Let's make it dead rather, because the default value is false, so that's a bit easier. Okay, and let's say if dead, return not to live but out of the method. And let's say if like the position y, so on the vertical axis, is bigger than, and that's what's the value. It's not like 12 times 64, which is 768. I'm looking if I've got like the map sizes somewhere to use that instead, but I'm okay with the constant for now. Obviously we are not going to leave it as that later, but it's okay for now. So if the position, if the monster is far enough, let's call it that. And in the game manager, I'm thinking we could make it an event, probably, and whenever the monster dies, it's gonna respawn or stuff like that. Okay, it's gonna be tricky. Hopefully I'll remember how to program an event. So it's gonna be public event, let's say event handler, let's call it on death, and the method will be, let's say die, I guess. Okay, there are some parameters we need to obey. What was it? It was like send the object or stuff like that. Let me look around. In, let's say, so I don't have to like, okay. Oh. Yes, sure. We won't need any like parameters send with the event. The information that the monster died is enough for now, at least. Later we can add like how much gold does it bring or stuff like that. So and vendor position. Vendor position crosses, let's go die. Okay, so we've got an event on death. Let's use it in the game manager to easily spawn a monster. Just thinking about something, whether we want to make it a static event maybe, so we don't have to like will it work? Maybe. Let's try. I'm gonna make it a static event because I don't want to set the event for every monster I spawn. I just want to do it once. I think it should work. So let's say monster on death and assign the spawn monster method. We obviously need to change the parameters, and it's like the sender object stuff. Let me just copy it there so I don't have to type it. Oh, not there. Nope. Was it not liking? Okay. This. And remove the parentheses. Okay. Is this okay? We'll see. Okay, let me double check again. So we're gonna spawn the monsters, assign the event. So whenever a monster dies, it's calling this event, which is assigned to this method, which spawns a new monster. So whenever one dies, the other is spawned, and we just need to remove the dead ones. So let's say monsters, remove all data is dead. We are removing all the dead monsters from the list so we can free up the memory and stuff. Monsters, remove all. Okay, that should be it. Okay, thanks for the tip. Okay, thank you. Okay, since you're saying it, I'm gonna try to learn something new. I guess it's called what? An anonymous method. Okay. It seems to be working for now. So it's gonna spawn new monster. Okay, I think this should work. And let's make it 10. And one more thing, let's give them a random speed so they are not so similar. And let's do the okay, let's leave it like that. Let's say like 100 to 151. So that's essentially 100 to 150. Can remove that. We can make it again read only. Okay. Sure. Okay. Thank you for the tips. I tend to do the full construction. I might want to add like more stuff later. But thank you very much. So let's give it a go. Hopefully it's gonna build a bit faster this time. Let's see. What I would like to do next, let me think, or feel free to suggest the next steps. As I said, I have not planned ahead. We could make a button. I guess we're gonna need buttons to select what tower to build and stuff. So some basic UI at the bottom to pick a tower to build. Okay, here they go. And they crashed. Okay, or no? That's weird. Okay, that's not fun. So that thingy isn't working. Let me change it back just to be sure that it's not that stuff. Sorry. It's just that I've never used this construction, so I just want to be sure. Maybe it's the static thing. Okay. So, this should be okay, right? The list is at the end, it's used, it's removed, should be okay. Should be okay. Oh, let me just quickly try like that. And then let me just rework the static thing, maybe that's causing the problems. I don't want to have to debugger and stuff. Ah, why is Android so slow? Okay. And no. So, anyone see a problem? Because I don't. But it's there. So, spawn monster is working. You are trying to add a new monster inside for each loop. That will be it. That's what I was afraid. The update is firing the event, right? And it's adding to the monsters. Okay. So let me just do the hack. Sure. Yeah, so the problem probably was or is while inside the update the event is called via this die, which is causing to add a new monster to the collection that we are currently iterating through, which is not allowed or it's not liking. So I'm just gonna transform the collection to a new array so the collection itself is not touched, and that should fix the problem. Not the first time that happened to me, sadly. Okay, perfect. The infinite army of monsters is onto us. Okay, cool. So now they are just moving from top to the bottom. Once we are able to build the towers, they are gonna be blocked, and there's already like the pathfinding methods. It's also from the previous videos, just reused, and they're gonna just run through the maze and stuff. But we are not gonna deal with that now. Okay, cool. What next? We said something about buttons. Is that something easier for now? I guess not. Okay, let's do the button. Just thinking I might just make it easy and copy paste one of the older projects. Okay. Oh. What have I done? So, button. That's accidentally the very first episode of the Game Dev Quickie. Oh, by the way, what I haven't mentioned and haven't mentioned in any of the previous videos, I'm using the global using definitions so that I don't have to like type every single using in every class. So button, it has a texture position, rectangle, some pigmentation. And what else? The update. The update is looking for the mouse cursor. I'm not sure we have that in our project. Obviously not, since we are using touch control, so we're gonna have to refactor this. And there's the on-click event. Let's rename it to on tap, just to be precise. No shade. Okay, so first we need to refactor the update if blah 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 blah. You can use the same as for the tile, which is something like this. So if we tap on the rectangle, and we also don't have to like do all of that, we can just use our sprite. I guess we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. Because it's all in the sprite. Rectangles, position, texture. Rectangle, blah blah blah. The coloring, I would get rid of it for now, since the tabs are so short. It was meant for a mouse over, so we wouldn't see it anyway. And we don't need the draw method, it's also in the sprite. And okay. Oh. It's a lot shorter now. Let's see. On the update, if we tap in this button rectangle area, click or click. And what click does, it only invokes this event. So whatever we say the button should do, it's gonna do. Okay, okay. Looks fine. Let's create a testing button. It's not liking it so far. I don't know, might not be built. Okay, build succeeded. Still not working properly. And the studio is confused. Happens. Okay. Let me restart the studio real quickly. Sometimes it helps. Oh, I don't have the correct file name. Okay. Happens. So let's create a button. Let's make a new button. We need another texture. I'm gonna again use the same same monster texture. I don't wanna bother with graphics for now. And the position. Should be the position. Be like 13. Let's make the screen bigger. I hope not much is gonna break. Let's make space for one more tile. It's not gonna be part of the map. Okay, okay. And the position is then like thinking, because the origin is offset a little. Let's just try and just move it a little if we need to. So that's gonna be like vector to x, like I think it should be like 32. How big is the image? It's also 64 by 64. Okay, let me guess a 32 and 17 times 64 minus 32 should be the magic number. all of these numbers gonna be refactored into something more appropriate later. Okay, so that's gonna be the button, and clicking the button should spawn the monster 2. That's all we can do for now. Spawning monsters. So clicking the monster that should be on the lower left corner spawns a new monster. Is that correct? I think yes. All we need to do is call the update so that the button could register that it's been clicked. Whenever, let's do it first. Is this working? Oh, also we need to draw it. Let's draw it when? Let's draw it last so that it's always on top of the layers. These things a little. This is the main draw area because I'm setting the canvas first and starting the badge and then drawing the badge to the canvas again. That's why I have those inner constructs. Okay, that should be it. Will it work? Let's see. Okay, my terminal is not working. Any bets? Will it work? Will it not? Is it building? Oh, okay. Gosh, it's slow. Okay, the screen got bigger. The button is missing. So I guess I misplaced it somewhere. I might have swapped the X and Y axis. That could be the case. But I like that changing the game area size didn't break the canvas resizing, so it means it works properly. The accuracy of the tabs are correct, so the movement of the input is also correct. So now we have to just place the button in the right spot. Let me just quickly try swapping the that should be all right. Let me see the map position. Oh, it should be 13, right? It's 13. Okay. Yeah, because earlier I worked with the map size of the ratio 2:1. It was 8 times 16. I'm still used to the 16 size, and then I made it slower for the screen. Sorry. And all this should be avoided by like using properly like constants for the map size, but I'm just too lazy to do it right now. Okay, so second attempt. Fingers crossed. Are there any ways to make it build faster? Okay, press our button. Okay, seems to be working. Cool. So instead of defending against the monsters, we are spawning more. It's not our job, but that's what we did for now. Cool, cool. That would be a nice screensaver, right? Okay, so it's been an hour. I've planned for an hour, and I think that's enough for me for the very first try of streaming. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for helping. Shout out to DevSpace. You've been helpful. MVP of the stream. Thank you. I hope I'll continue with the live streams. Let me know what you thought, what you liked, and see you around. Thank you again, and bye bye.